Hello everyone. So this is the Ayn Odin 2 portal. As I mentioned in my previous video that I will make a review for this device as well. So here it is. So this is a device from a Chinese company called Ayn, and this is their Odin line of devices, and this is called the Odin 2 portal. So this is essentially an Android based handheld, which means the operating system which it comes with, it's Android 14 out of the box. So you can think of this as a smartphone, Android smartphone with controls built in, like these analog sticks, this D-pad, these buttons, these triggers, and so on. So now many people, including me, have this question that we can game on our phones. Why do we require a separate device like this? We can buy a Steam Deck, we can buy a Switch 2, we can buy all the Windows handheld like the Asus ROG Lix, the Xbox ROG Lix, or the Lenovo Legion Go's of the world. Why do we need an Android based handheld when we have our smartphones? Which is a very valid question. I had that same question for a long time, but since I have got this, and I'm telling you guys, this is an insane device. The things it can do, it's insane. Honestly, I'm telling you. I bought it for mainly PS2 emulation, as you can see, and PSP emulation. So it's a emulation beast. People in this community, in this Android based handheld community, buy Android based devices specifically to emulate their favorite retro systems or the current generation systems, including the Nintendo Switch. Although Nintendo Switch is the current gen, Nintendo Switch 2 is current gen, Nintendo Switch is the previous generation, but you get my point. So basically, this Android community, this Android handheld based gaming community of ours, we basically buy Android based handhelds specifically for emulation, for emulating old retro games, old retro systems, and also Android games. And now, thanks to GameHub and GameHub Lite softwares, we can even play PC games, but that's a separate video. That's a separate discussion altogether. So this is Android based handheld. I was also confused like you guys that I can game on my phone, I can game on my I can get a Switch 2, a Steam Deck OLED. All of those devices are very nice. So why should I get an Android based handheld? So first and foremost, let me tell you that this handheld is more than just an Android smartphone. And as I will proceed in the video, I will explain it why. So first of all, I just want to tell you that I surfed the internet, I surfed YouTube, I searched Reddit. I didn't find any Indian YouTube creator who had brought this device and who has reviewed this device. So I think I'm the first one to do so. This is a very niche type of device. It has a very niche customer base. And I don't think India is like one of the highest buyers of these kind of devices. It's growing, but I don't think it's one of the highest buyers of this device. That's why I don't think any Indian creator specifically has reviewed this, right? So let me begin. So I will start with telling you what this device is, where you can buy this if you want to buy in India, where you can buy it, which models it comes in, what's the price, what I actually paid for this device, everything I'm going to tell you, right from the pricing and everything, and then we'll proceed about this device because I have a lot to discuss. Okay, so the first thing is you can buy it from two ways. You can either buy it from Avion's official website or you can buy it from Alibaba. So I bought this from Alibaba. So I bought it from Alibaba's app. Please beware of any scammers because Alibaba has a lot of options, but please go in there with caution. I bought this device from a very reputed seller. I checked its ratings, I checked Reddit, and people from India previously had bought from that seller, and it was very well reputed seller. So that's why I bought it from them. I total cost I paid for this device was approximately 56,000. So about 50,000 I paid for this device, 6,000 I paid for customs. So total 56,000. This device comes in three models: base, pro, and max. The base model comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. The pro model, which is this one, it comes in 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. And the max model comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Also, this color, this beautiful white color, it comes in three colors basically. This beautiful white color and the indigo color only comes in the pro and the max version. and only the black color comes in the base version. So if you're getting the base version, there is no option, you have to buy the black one only. If you want to buy this white or the indigo color, it comes in total three colors: black, indigo and white. If you want to buy the indigo or the white color, you have to get the pro or the max model. So that's all the boring stuff out of the way. Correct. Now I am gonna tell you, okay, also the 50,000 cost which I told you, that's including the shipping. So I opted for the fastest shipping possible, which is the FedEx International Air Priority Shipping. If I'm not wrong, I paid about 6,000 for that shipping. But the benefit of that shipping is you can get the product in 1 week. I got this product in 1 week. I ordered in Thursday, I got it next Thursday. So that's very fast, and it came from China, not from any domestic, seller. It came from an international seller. So within 1 week, I received this product. That is something very amazing thing which FedEx does, but it charges a lot. But I think it's also important because they are also prioritizing your shipping. Okay, anyways, so you can see this is a beautiful device, right? All the boring stuff aside, I have mentioned about the price, I have mentioned about the variants, I have mentioned about how you can get it. Now let's come to this device. So this device is in beautiful white color. Just let me grab this. Yes. So this black grip I have purchased separately, and I have attached it because the by default the ergonomics were like a bit thin for me. As you can see, AY branding, and this is the black grip case I have attached with this, and I brought this grip case also from the seller. So now I'm going to tell you why I love this device and I bought this device. I wanted a device for emulating PS2 and PSP. That was my intended goal. But when I got this device and I downloaded PS2 games, which you can see, I can just show you also. So these are the PS2 games that I have on this device, okay? Also, this software which I'm using, I told you that it's an Android based handheld, but this seems like a console, right? This is not Android, this is Android actually. The software I'm using is called Emulation Station Desktop Edition. So this is an app with which you can turn your Android based handheld into a console like experience. It's still Android. If I swipe from above, you can see Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything. So this is still Android, but the user interface is such that it looks like a console, as you can see. It's very beautiful. I will talk about this later. So what I was saying was my main purpose or my intended purpose was to emulate PS2 and PSP games. But when I got this device and I installed some Switch games, see, I have a lot of Switch games, basically first party titles. So when I installed all of these games and I started playing Switch games on this is a Switch emulation beast. All of these games which run on Switch at 60 FPS locked run at this device 60 FPS locked, and I'm not kidding. These games, not every game, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, games like these are very demanding, and on Switch 2 they run at 60 FPS native on handheld mode. On Switch 1 they ran at 30 FPS at handheld mode, but on this device they run a bit slow. I think Zelda Breath of the Wild runs good, but Tears of the Kingdom runs very poorly. That's not the problem of this device. That's the problem of this emulator called Eden, which I use on Nintendo Switch. Okay, getting back to the video now. So the Switch emulation on this, as I was telling you, is crazy. I'm just telling you guys, you are not ready for the Switch emulation. It's so amazing. And let me tell you, this display, this is an OLED display, a 1080p 7 inches 16:9 aspect ratio OLED with 110%, if I'm not wrong, sRGB color gamut. So this is very color accurate, beautiful display. The camera of my S25 Ultra is not doing justice to it. I'm telling you, you can see a pink tint on this display, but in the real life it's not there. This is just the camera recording an OLED screen. This is happening in real life. This is a beautiful display, and I upscale these games, Switch games, PS2 games, to about 1300 or 1400p, even much more than the screen can handle, but I still upscale them and run them, and they look absolutely beautiful. They run flawlessly, and all of this I'm running this in silent mode. As you can see, smart mode of the fan, but it's still silent only, and the performance is also standard, as you can see. But this runs like a buttery smooth. This runs buttery smooth, guys. So even the upscale version of these games, like I upscale it to 1440p, it runs buttery smooth. Okay, so now getting back to this device. Okay, so the processor which is in this device, the CPU, it's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's a very capable processor. It's a bit old, I agree, but it's a very capable processor, more than enough power you will ever need for these kind of games. Switch to PS2, PSP. You can play GameCube. You can play even further back, Super Nintendo, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, whatever you can play. PS1, PS3 is a lot demanding, and also the emulator is not in the finished state, so no PS3, sadly. Okay, so overall, I just want to say this device is awesome. This is software called Emulation Station, which you can download and install, and you can make this device look like this, like mine. It's beautiful. It has many themes. You can check from here. See, scrapper, UI settings, theme downloader. So there are lots of themes. Right now my Wi-Fi is off, so that's why it's not loading it. But there are a lot of themes. So what I'm gonna tell you, what I'm gonna advise you is, if you have the money to burn, seriously, this is an expensive device. So if you have the money to burn and you want an Android based handheld which is amazing for Switch emulation, not all but most, PS2 emulation, all the games, PSP emulation, all the games possible, get this device. This is a beautiful device. The display, I'm telling you, is awesome. OLED 1080p 110% or 100% if I'm not wrong, minimum 100%, but I think it was 110 because I saw it on their website. Okay, let's keep it 100% sRGB color gamut, color accurate display, 1080p OLED. It's amazing, one of the best displays that I've ever seen. And I owned the Alienware OLED 32-inch monitor. I'm telling you, that was an amazing monitor. But still, I'm saying this is one of the best screens that I've ever seen. It's my S25 Ultra. Okay, let me tell you something. My S25 Ultra, it's an OLED display, obviously dynamic AMOLED 2x, and it's 1440p Quad HD plus resolution. It has an anti-glare display, which is very amazing. This Odin 2 Portal display even gives the S25 Ultra a run for its money. That's how good Odin 2 Portal display is. And I have told you I'm a display snob, so I know a good display when I see it. This is an amazing display. The games pop. PS2 games, Nintendo Switch games, PSP games just pop on this display, and it's amazing. Upscaled at 1080p or even 1440p, as I told you. So in all, this is an amazing device. Please let me know if you have any queries, if you want to purchase this, and if you have any queries, please let me know in the comments. I would love to help you guys. Okay, so thank you so much.